So this month's Zodiac tournament is exploring the possibility of having a master card pool under current TCG format. And I got a banger of a deck profile here that one of our duelists was actually playing for the first round. And for those of you that saw the replay, you were like, that's really interesting. I wanted to profile this strictly for the concept. And you guys know I'm a big concept guy. I love showing off things. And having a deck that virtually denies your opponent the chance to play the game, you knew we were going to exploit that. So how does this work? So, Burning Bamboo Sword says if you activate a Bamboo Sword card while this card is already face up in your spell and trap card zone, you can skip your opponent's next main phase one. So what does this mean? So it means your opponent goes Ora no Tam, Doro, draws, then they go to standby phase, and then they're forced to go into their battle phase, and then main phase 2. Well, in addition to Burning Bamboo Sword, you also have a card that says Terminal World. Activate this card only during main phase 1. While this card is on the field, both players skip their main phase 2. So much like Dual Terminal, much like Speed Duel format, you literally just go draw, standby, main phase 1, battle phase, end turn. Well, your opponent's turn becomes draw, standby, battle phase, end turn. They don't actually get a chance to play the game. So what we're effectively doing here is we're denying our opponent the chance to play the game. And it's quite hilarious, seeing this combo go off. Now, like every deck, we do have some consistency issues. I mean, we have equip cards in our deck, so that's already not off to a good start. But you kind of have to look at this deck and go, how are we going to pull off this strategy? Well, this is where the Sky Striker engine comes into play. If you guys haven't noticed, Engage is still at 3 here. And with Engage still at 3, that means we can load up our graveyard with spell cards, and we can go to town, baby. That means we don't have to worry about our opponent. We just have to engage a little bit with our opponent and set things up. And that's where we get this card. So perform a PAL pop-up. So you can send up to 3 cards from your hand to the graveyard, and then draw the same number of cards that you sent. So this lets you send 3. So you can send 3 spells from your hand to the graveyard, and then you send the same number of cards from your hand to the graveyard. Then, if you have 2 cards in your Pendulum Scale, you can special summon Perform a PAL Magician and or Odd Eyes monsters from your hand with different names equal to the between the pendulum scales of the cards, up to the number of cards you drew by this effect. And if you do not special summon by this effect, you lose 1,000 points for each card in your hand. So, the bad news about this is you're probably going to be taking about 3 to 4k life off of this. The good news is you get to burn into your deck for 3 cards. I don't know if Exodia has realized this yet, but this is the new indirect Graceful Charity that we've been given. And this card is ridiculously good. For those of you that are looking at this going, wow, that was my exact thought when I read this as well. I was like, wow, we just got a generic draw card that every deck is going to be allowed to exploit and use. And yeah, the card, once we get this is going to be a powerhouse. So, what do we have going on here in the deck? So, we have 1 copy of Armageddon Knight, dropping Destrudo into the graveyard to allow us to get into a power tool is exactly what we want to do. You either have backup draw power or more revealability. Okay? And then, of course, the 1 Destrudo to get to our combo piece. Then we play 2 copies of Sky Striker, Ace, Ray, and 1 copy of Rose. Having different options available to you for this isn't going to feel bad. You pick your poison with how you're tutoring through this, but 95% of the time you're just, going Hayate, setting up to engage, and then, going Kagari into engage. Your whole point in life is to set up the soft lock on your opponent so that they can't play the game. Now, is it consistent? Yes and no, but that's a territory you come with. The downside is we have to play bad cards like Broken Bamboo Sword. Remember, the equipped monster gains 0 attack because it is a Broken Bamboo Sword. And then, of course, you have to play 3 copies of the Burning Bamboo Sword. You're actually going to have to It's not an equip card, so you can't use the abuse of your beautiful cards to be able to tutor for this. So you're going to have to do it the hard way, but that's fine. We have 1 card destruction. Worst case scenario, you just turbo through your deck enough that you get to the point of, all right, card destruction. You know, worst case, you see some more engages that you can kind of tutor for more cards. Like, it doesn't feel bad at all having to dig through the deck as much as you have to. And then we have the 2 copies of the Contract with Dawn Thousands. On activation, both players lose 1,000. And you get to draw 1 card, and then all cards drawn by this effect get revealed. And then, you know, doesn't really matter all that much. We're just using this as another way to draw further from the deck. Triple copies of Cursed Bamboo Sword. Monster gains 0 attack. And then if this card descends to the graveyard, you get to add that Bamboo Sword from your deck to your hand. So that's what we care about. You get to tutor for any of the swords that you need, all wrapped into 1 card. Dark World Dealings, just a 1-of draw card. Same thing with the majority of this deck. You just have to understand that. Ooh, neg 1s. We have 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Dropping off the Destrudo is our game plan to set up into Power Tools. It's so broken. Then we have the triple copies of the Golden Bamboo Sword. If you control a bamboo equipped spell, draw 2. By the way, these aren't once per turn, for those of you that might not have realized this yet. So you're going to be able to abuse multiples of these as long as you know you got to the bad equip. And then continuing on with our neg life here, we have the triple copies of the Hand Destruction. Just pinging off 2 from both players isn't necessarily a bad thing. Just understand that giving your opponent resources. But hey, if you can drop a Destrudo in the graveyard to combo up with, okay, we'll accept that. If this deck could play more One Day of Pieces, I'm sure it would. This card is ridiculous. I've seen so many hands with this resolving, and it's just like, GG no re, like, enjoy not pinging me for a turn. And it's just like, why do you exist? Like, the card is so good. And triple copies of the Performapal pop-up, like I said, Graceful Charity, kind of on crack. Like, that ability to just burn 3, set up engage, and then just engage literally for half your life. Okay, I'll take that. We have 1 copy of Rhoda. 1 copy of the Sky Striker Field Spell. Just remember, it's just another way to tutor for engage at this point. And then we play 1 Vector Blast. So if you control no monsters in the main monster zone, each player mills the top 2. And then if you send at least 1 card to the graveyard, and you have 3 or more spell cards in a graveyard, you can shuffle all monsters from the opponent's extra monster zones into the deck. So this is a free answer to anything that your opponent has set up in the extra monster zone that's giving you a hassle. Then we have the 1 Hornet Drones, the triple engage, triple copies of Terminal World, probably the second brickiest card in the deck, unfortunately. Like, I want to say this card's not that bad, but it can be that bad. We have 1 Upstart Goblin, and then down here in the extra deck we have 2 copies of Shizuku, yay end phase tutor ability, triple copies of Kaina, because you're going to want to stall your opponent out. Definitely 3 of this is pretty much needed, because if your plan starts to fall apart, you're not going to have fun. Then we have 1 copy of Kagari, triple copies of Hayate, and 1 Phoenix, and then the Power Tools. So, during your turn, when an equipped spell card is equipped, you can draw a card. You can only use this effect of him once per turn, and then once per turn, during either player's turn, target 1 appropriate face-up equipped card on the field, equip that target to this card. The thing we care about here is this gives us another answer for more draw power. And then, of course, the old OG power tool that reveal 3 equipped spells from your deck, and then your opponent will randomly add 1 to your hand. And then if this card be destroyed while equipped with an equipped spell card, send 1 of those cards to the graveyard instead. But hey, we can get to our swords. You know, either sword that we need here, we have access to. And then the rest of the extra deck here, we have 1 Starving Venom, 1 Violet Chimera, 1 Dragastopelia. And then the side deck here, we have triple Raw Sphere Mode, triple Hadoken, triple Lightning Storm, triple Super Poly, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment, wrapping up this fantastic deck profile. Now, keep in mind that this isn't going to be the next Tier 0 deck. No. This is something that you can take to locals when we get everything and just have a blast. Or if you want to play TCG or OCG and you just want to mess up your opponent's day and make them really angry with you, that's what this is. It's a concept deck meant to demonstrate the future of the game with the already existing card pool that we have. And I think that this deck does a fantastic job at demonstrating just how much bad card design we have in this game. But it's the fun things like that that make Yu-Gi-Oh fun. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.